Good afternoon, everybody. Sports fans from all around the globe. I'm your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your closing bell for Monday, April 4th, 2022. Someone's cutting the nets down tonight. Will it be Kansas? Will it be North Carolina? Currently, Kansas -4. And where we got? It's about a 1. Let me see here. 151.5. If you want the over, you can go to William Hill at 151. 41, 4.5 at the Mirage and at the Wynn, but mostly 4 and 151.5. It's actually 152.5 at the Wynn. NBA is off. Couple games left. I was listening to the locals. The Bruins have 14 games left. It seems like, but there was a break, which was supposed to be the Olympics, which the U.S. didn't send anyone out there. So, kind of a slow day. A lot of work getting done for us as we get ready for the Masters. It's actually the busiest week of the year with the Final Four, the championship game. The Masters coming up on Thursday, the start of MLB on Thursday, and getting ready for the playoffs for NBA and NHL. And then before you know it, we'll be talking about the Kentucky Derby. As I bring Scott in, the Phillies in their midseason form, 2-0 lead over the Yanks, give up 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. So back end doing what we all expected them, but I know it's just preseason, being sarcastic there, but we will be scoreboard watching in a couple of days. So let's bring him in. The man from the Palm Tree States himself, the one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Good afternoon, Scotty.
Good afternoon, Jeff. And some of these teams are wrapping it up. They're not necessarily going to be playing a whole lot. I mean, they're traveling, getting ready to go. Like I was watching the Astros here, and today was it. They're done. They're after today, they're getting on a plane and they're flying to Anaheim, and that's going to be in my opinion, that's probably the one of, if not the best opening day series out there. So I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, and we sent out our long time family member at ECSI, Mr. Jeff Harlan, and his bride to opening day for the Angels, and was all giddy because it was Shohei versus Verlander, but Verlander will not get that start. So him being an Angel fan, maybe they got a better shot at a win. I know this. I was leaning Angels for opening day. Now they're slight favorites, so I don't know. I know Verlander's actually been pitching pretty well too. Let me go there. And I think I know the answer, but once the season starts, how much spring training numbers do you put into effect going into the first weekend?
0.
Okay.
My numbers are going to have projections for the real games, nothing with the preseason numbers. So I don't have any I've been saying all this the whole time. My I just know what that stuff is about, what it is. And the truth of the matter is those are exhibitions. They're not trying to win games. There's no game plans. There's no. Let me make sure I say this the right way. Pitchers are trying to do things and not allow hits. They're not trying to let people get hits. But what they're not doing is they're not trying to attack weaknesses of hitters. They're not trying to hit spots with certain pitches to get outs. What they're doing is trying to do different things to prepare their arm, their motion, to get an idea of what the spin does if they hold their finger this way, if they move their wrist that way, and see what the ball does. So every single thing about the preseason, about Major League preseason baseball, spring training baseball, has nothing to do with day one. Absolutely nothing. Now, does it mean that these guys who went out there and played real hard and did real good and did all this stuff can't carry that forward? No, they could. They're just because you're hot in spring training doesn't mean that you couldn't be a hot hitter going into the season. Now, having said that, this will be different because day one, there's a scouting report, there's a game plan, there's an understanding of how you want to put the defense together, how you want to pitch batters to get them out, and where you want to put your fielders to get them out. And then hitters are going to have to adjust. So normal seasons in spring training, if you go back and look, they want 50 to 80 at-bats. These guys didn't get 50 to 80 at-bats. Hardly any of them got that many. So the truth is going to be pitchers will be ahead of hitters. Shit, I shouldn't be saying this. This is going to give away secrets. Pitchers are going to be ahead of hitters for about 7 days, maybe even longer, but 7 days. So expect lower scoring games, especially in the first 5 innings. Expect me to be doing some unders and shit like that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Listen, I came back from, really following 2 weeks while I was in Vegas. I actually capitalized on some moves in the preseason games, cactus, grapefruit, whatever you want to call it. And again,
have you seen any numbers for opening day?
I've seen a few shopping around. I haven't seen anything in concrete. I've seen yours a couple times. And again, I'm just curious. Like, for instance, let's just say Shohei, his last start when an inning and a third, gave up 6 hits, walked 4, and gave up 7 runs. How quick you would be to run to the window on Thursday to play Shohei, maybe as a minus 120 against Houston?
Well, I wouldn't use his outings results to be a precursor to what he's going to do on opening day, except for if he's either now using Shohei's case, I wouldn't use it one way or the other because I don't know what he did. I don't know what his purpose was for that preseason game.
That was made up, by the way. I was just making that up.
No, I got it. But a guy like Dylan Bundy is different. And I say it's different because, if he's throwing, and I forget what the number is, I could look it up, but let's just say he's throwing 94 miles an hour last year or 93 miles an hour last year, and this year he can't break 90, he's going to get hit. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter whether he comes out on opening day and puts a game plan together. He doesn't. He doesn't have the stuff anymore to get the outs that way. So he's going to have to learn something different. So a guy like that, I would use his whole velocity drop as a big issue to look at, because I guarantee, well, I shouldn't say guarantee. There's no reason to say that. I would be willing to tell you that sports books are not using that information to put a line in place. And based on the idea that they wouldn't be, and that the balls are going to be, look, if you're going to make bets and you're going to bet on a team to win a game, you want balls in play as an offense. The more balls you can get put in play, the better chances you are going to get guys on base. Hence, the more opportunities you're going to have to score runs. That's what you want. And if you're a pitcher, you don't want guys on base. So you do that through the 3 true outcomes. And there's ways and means to calculate that. I've written all that stuff up 8 million times. I could do it again. But the point of it is that as a pitcher, you want to keep guys from getting on base, making easy outs. Yeah, and you don't really want to rely on your defense to get the outs. So where you put the ball, how you put the ball, what kind of contact hitters make matters. And if you throw the ball in 89 miles an hour, you're going to get hit. And it's going to get hit on the barrel of the bat, and it's going to get hit hard. And the harder the ball is hit, the less reaction time a fielder has, and the more chance it's going to get through the infield. If it's a hard hit ball to the outfield, the more good chance it's going to be a gapper. It's just more damage, the bigger blows. And I would use that information, and I will use that information right away. Now, as we get into this, the other thing that I do that I don't think many people really look at is I use the first 3 starts to establish a bar. In other words, what is this guy going to do for the season? And his first 3 starts will tell you a good thing about him. Typically, and unless you're an ace, because it doesn't really qualify to aces, but every other pitcher, and there's only a handful of aces, but every other pitcher is going to have a good start, an average start, and a below average start. And they're not going to be back to back to back. So they won't have a good start, and a bad start. That's what an ace does. Every other pitcher that comes out is going to throw a good start, then he's going to maybe throw a bad start, and then he's going to have an average start. But if you keep track of it that way, you can look at it and go, okay, in the first 3 starts, well, boop, there's his bad start. It's out of the way. So the next time he pitches, he's either going to have a really good start or he's going to have an average start. And if you know that going in, boy, do you have an advantage over the line when it comes out, because it tells you a lot about what's going to happen in the game.
I remember last year, especially when we were on the Discord channel and we were talking, is, guys coming off back-to-back real good starts and, way above average, and, the clunker you were calling for and the clunker you got. So will be interesting to see, obviously, the start of here of baseball. Tonight, again, small menu. The NBA is off. I'll just go to the meat and potatoes. Rotation number 721, 722. 9:20 tip-off. North Carolina, Kansas. I'm looking at, on one of my sites, Sports Insights, we're up to about 50,000 wagers that we're watching. The line opened at 4.5. It's down to 4, which is surprising to me. On Sports Insights, I'm showing 52% of the bets on Kansas, a 50-50 split on bets there for the money part of it. On Sports Insights, he says 77% chance that it's going to go back up to 4.5. The total again opened at 152. The computer model's 153. It's down to 151. I'm going to be honest with everyone that's watching and listening. I think Kansas wins the game. Can Carolina win? Of course. But I was talking to a colleague today, and don't take this out of sequence here, but I'm going to say it this way. I think Carolina won its national championship on Saturday, meaning they played Duke on senior day in Duke, the Cameron Crazies. Coach K's last game at home, 11-point underdogs, and crushed them. And now they meet in the Final Four for the first time ever, and they ended Coach K's season and career. That is pretty big stuff. They put their heart and soul behind that game. And again, I know it's the national title game. I know they had a day to sit in their glory, bask in the sun, and there's another job to be done. Just Kansas is clicking on all cylinders, and they just blew out Villanova in the first 5 minutes. They were 7 for 10 from three. They had a slow first half against Miami the game before. Then they outscored them 47-15. If Carolina wants to track meet, Kansas will oblige. So I cheated on this game, Scott. I did some homework. I peeled some layers back, and I played Kansas team total over 77.5. I think they get to 80 pretty comfortably today. I do think they win. I just took the points out of play. I don't like releasing minus 190s, 200 money lines. Again, I think Carolina can win. I do, but I think Kansas is the side you play. I'd hate to have them win and, Carolina hits a walk-off three and it lands on, 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever. So that's just my take on that game.
Well, me just watching them and, I don't do handicapping on these games, but it doesn't mean I don't watch them. My opinion is that Kansas is the more experienced team, that they probably are the team that would handle the environment better, which then means that if you're playing a team total like that, you're not necessarily counting on them to win the game. You're counting on them to play like a Kansas team normally would. And I think that that's probably the smartest thing that I would say is with this game. Looking at pregame, there's over $1 million bet on this game. 50% of the money on both sides of the ticket. So I mean, people don't know what the hell they're doing. Yes. So instead of making just a dumb bet like that and sitting there going, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to pick one. Okay, well, the truth of the matter is, think it through, just like what you said. If you go back through and you peel back the layers of a lot of things like this, you'll find ideology that you like and that you will be able to put something out there and go, yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm going to play that, because that's the smart thing to do with my money, as opposed to doing what you just said, going out there and flipping that coin up there and going, shit, I don't care. Nobody knows what to do in this game. As Dave says, nobody knows shit, right? So when there's that scenario where nobody knows shit, that's good, because you can find an edge that nobody else is looking for because they gave up. Don't give up. Dig deeper. Find a way. Oh, and I just looked it up. I just Caesars, I'm sorry to change the subject. Caesars just released the opening day line. So anyway, I can give you that whenever whatever. But anyway, I just looked it up and I'm like, holy shit, there's somebody put some numbers out. Oh, it was only an hour ago. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh my God, my numbers give me some value here. I'm like, woo.
Well, how about this? I'll pull up Caesars for the morning if we do the bankroll in the morning, and we'll go over Webby. I'll have Webby's odds and Caesar's odds, and we'll go back and forth there on that one.
No worries. Yeah. Well, this will be a perfect segue into, you just said, like, I don't want to give somebody, a -1, whatever it was, or, to win these games. So there's a couple different theories in thought here. One, obviously, if you're betting on the spread, you don't want to give -140s, -145s on the spread. That's just terrible. Those are not realistically good odds. It's just stupid. So don't ever do that. And I'm gonna say this because I've already said it before on these shows, and it's got to make sense. So I'm just going to say like my number, and you've seen my number a couple of times, and they've adjusted here and there, but it's been relatively consistent. Like the Yankees with Cole and Evaldi has been about 170, 175 for me. So I'm looking at this number that's Caesars put out. It's 140. It's 140.
And I'm going to interject there. And I go back 5-8 minutes ago. Evaldi was lights out yesterday. So that's why I asked you about that, because the 170, let's say you're getting the 10-cent lines, let's just say Yankees minus 170, Sox plus 160. You're going to get, I'm going to say 70-30 on the Sox with the value. I know value's only value if you're cashing the ticket, but Evaldi plus 160 is the value play. I'm not saying he's going to win, but in your eyes, you have Cole at minus 170, say he's going off at 140. Therefore, your value play is Cole and the Yankees minus the 140.
Correct. Which then sits there and I go, okay, well, I'm okay with that because that's the numbers come out to where that should be. And, I should probably go over some point in time before the season starts how I do that number so everybody gets an idea of what that number looks like. And what I'm going to say is the true value number. Nothing based on what you just said. My number has nothing to do with what a book thinks. It has nothing to do with who's going to bet on it when they see it, what it looks like, none of that. So what you just said was a perfect reason probably why it's minus 140. I think that the Milwaukee Brewers are going to just beat the crap out of the Cubs on opening day, right? Burns is going to go out there and just light them up. Well, my number says he's minus 200. Okay, well, I'm looking at a number that says he's minus 145. This is where I look at it and I go, okay, well, look, I get it. You don't want to bet minus 145, minus 150. And you don't want to make a habit of that. But when you see the value at that level, you go, shit, I can't not do it. So anyway, now what I will say is let it play out for a couple of weeks before you really get the numbers synced in and let everything happen because these are all based off projected numbers and projections, and projections don't always come through. So sometimes some teams are a lot better than you thought they were, and other teams aren't. So I thought it was interesting. The Angels, they made the Angels minus 125 on opening night, and my number says what would my number say for the Angels? My number was 105 pick 'em. So it was interesting. And so anyway, just interesting stuff.
In the NHL tonight, there's only 4 games, and the Bruins opened up at 242. They're now 230. That's a hard pass. Arizona, St. Louis opened up at 348, now minus 390. Obviously, that's a hard pass. Calgary opened up minus 177, now 166. If you were to play that game, I would strongly suggest Calgary in the puck line. I do have one hockey game here that caught my eye. Early last week, the Bruins opened up minus 125 against the Leafs, and the public bit the hook, and the Bruins closed at 148. The Leafs, we released at plus 133, went box to wire. Well, the Leafs are now playing Tampa Bay at a 7:30 start, rotation number 21-22. This game opened up at it actually opened up at 130. It's down to 126 at Circa, 130 at the Nut, 133 and 134 at Heritage and FanDuel. I like Tampa here today. I think the number was enticing the other way. I thought they were going to get Leafs money, and they actually have. And so I am leaning Lightning here. We got Vasilevskiy in the net versus Campbell. The under-over 6.5. I think that the Lightning get it done tonight, and that was my solo puck release today. And again, in the championship game, not picking a winner. We're hoping to go in through the back door and grab Kansas team total at 77 and a hook over.
Yeah, well, there's I still think that's a great play. I mean, I think it's a great way to teach people what to look at, when everybody else is looking at something else. So I love it.
It's that time of the day, Scotty. No.
I don't have them today. I no wisdom from me today. I actually walked the dogs, went for a walk, fell asleep, and got up and got on the show. And I didn't do the homework for the words of wisdom. So I don't have anything pre-written today.
No words of wisdom on Monday.
I can go read a different one I wrote a long time ago.
So everyone watching here today, we thank you. Without you, there is no closing bell, breakfast bankroll. We would just be talking to ourselves. So we thank you. Anyone that has not gone over to YouTube or Twitch, go over to East Coast Sports Investors. Hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, tell a friend, tell another friend. On social media, our buddy, Mr. Follow Fade, Mr. Lucky himself. We thank you for all your content, for all your hard work that you do in supporting us there. And everyone else, Billy Hewlin, Marty Lowe, Gary Brown, everyone that watches and listens to us, we thank you. But tonight, it's a new start, fresh beginning, new start of the week, a busy, busy week. You got the championship tonight. You got Masters on Thursday. You got opening day on Thursday. Plenty of action. We'll still have NHL and NBA. So sit tight, enjoy these games. Have some fun. Don't go over your skis and stay in your lanes. There you go. There's your words of wisdom today. Stay in your lanes. But if you do have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We'd like to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB. We wish everyone a blessed day. Have some fun, cash some tickets, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning.